The movie begins with Charlie, an extremely obese man, who is also an English teacher. Charlie is teaching an online course about essay writing to his students while keeping his webcam turned off, to keep his physical appearance hidden from his students. After finishing the online class, Charlie turns on adult content, and starts pleasuring himself. Suddenly Charlie's heart starts aching, and he also drops his phone. Fortunately, a preacher from the New Life Church named Thomas enters his room. On seeing Charlie in distress, Thomas asks him if he should call an ambulance. Charlie tells him to read him the essay from his table instead. As Thomas starts reading the essay out loud to Charlie, it makes Charlie's heartache go away and helps him to feel calm. Thomas then picks up Charlie's phone and hands it to him. He then asks Charlie why he had him read the essay to him. Charlie replies that he wanted to hear it one last time before dying. Charlie then gets visited by his friend, Liz, who is a nurse, and asks Charlie to visit the hospital, and warns Charlie that he is at risk of heart failure, but Charlie refuses to take medical attention since he has no health insurance. Thomas watches curiously, as Liz helps Charlie grab his walker, and helps him walk to the bathroom. Liz then informs Thomas that the New Life Church is responsible for Charlie's close friend's death, which made him the way he is, and asks Thomas to leave. Liz again suggests Charlie to visit the hospital, and warns him that he could die in a week, but Charlie again disagrees, which makes Liz angry. Later, they both sit to watch the TV together. Charlie pleads with Liz to give her something to eat, which compels her to give Charlie a bucket of fried chicken, which he enjoys eating while watching TV. After Charlie wakes up from his nap, he picks the essay from the table and starts rereading it, which is about a whale, Moby Dick, with no feelings. Charlie thinks he is in the same situation as the whale. As he walks into his bedroom, he puts his giant body on his bed, and turns off the light before falling asleep. Charlie turns on his laptop after waking up in the morning, and researches on the consequences of obesity, and high blood pressure, which shows that his health is in danger. So he turns off his laptop, opens his drawer, and eats chocolate bars. Charlie then takes a shower, starts shaving, and adds food to the bird feeder as his daily routine. Charlie hears someone knocking on his door, which appears to be his daughter, Ellie, whom he left with his wife years ago. She starts making fun of his obesity, and hates him for abandoning them. As she prepares to leave, Charlie offers her all the money from his bank account, if only she spends time with her father. Charlie also tells her that he will help her with homework, and passing her exams, to which she agrees. Ellie takes Charlie's walker, and tells him to walk without it. He tries to stand up but is unable, due to his heavy weight, causing him to fall. Ellie then leaves, leaving Charlie to himself. Later the delivery guy brings Charlie his pizza, and asks him if he is okay. Charlie says he's fine, and tells him to leave the pizza outside, and the delivery guy leaves. Later, Charlie is visited by his friend Liz, who checks his blood pressure. Liz then starts cleaning Charlie's room. She sees an essay that Ellie forgot there, and starts scolding Charlie for bringing her to his apartment without his ex-wife's consent. She tells him to not bring her over again, and gives him a large hot dog. Charlie almost dies from choking on it. Liz rushes to help as she notices, and helps him spit it out. Liz then picks up the hot dog, and hands it back to Charlie. Later that afternoon, after finishing the online class, Charlie accidentally finds a photo of him and his friend, making him want to go into their old room where they shared many memories. But he accidentally drops the key to the room, so he gives up since he can't pick it up. Later, Charlie gets visited by his daughter again, and he starts correcting her essay, while she spends all her time on her phone. Ellie then finds the photo of her father with his friend, and asks him how his friend died, but Charlie refuses to answer, and asks Ellie to write her essay while he goes to the bathroom. He then starts crying because he misses his friend, while Ellie stands and hears him crying helplessly. Ellie then hears someone knocking at the door, which turns out to be the preacher boy Thomas. Thomas is shocked to see that Charlie has a daughter. He lets her know that he has come to help Charlie. After finding out who he is, Ellie tells him to come back tomorrow, since she will be there for her essay, and leaves. Thomas talks to Charlie about the end times, and tells Charlie he still has time to be saved. Charlie replies that he doesn't need to be saved. But the only way he can help is by picking up the key that Charlie dropped, and unlocks the door for him. Suddenly, Liz shows up, and asks Thomas to leave, but Charlie tells her that he is only here to help him. Liz also bought a wheelchair for Charlie. As Charlie sits on it, he feels relieved and thanks Liz for the wheelchair. Liz then tells Thomas to come outside, to speak with him. She tells him to never visit Charlie again. Thomas courageously says that he believes God has sent him to help Charlie. Liz then sits in front of him, and talks to him about his brother's loss, which was connected to New Life Church that he serves. Her father was brainwashed by the church New Life, that he kicked out his son from the family, which eventually caused him to end his life. Thomas assures Liz that he just wants to help Charlie. Liz then completely loses her temper, and tells Thomas to leave. Later that evening, after Liz leaves for her night shift, Charlie decides to get inside the room that Thomas opened for him. Unfortunately, his chair gets stuck at the doorway, leaving him no choice but to smell the nostalgic air of the room, which reminds him of his past. The delivery man delivers Charlie's pizza that he ordered. This time the delivery man gives his name to Charlie, which makes Charlie feel less lonely. He starts eating the pizza while watching TV. He finds his daughter's notebook that she forgot to take with her. He grabs the notebook to read her essay, but instead he finds 3 rude sentences that she's written, which Charlie finds funny and starts laughing. The laughter causes him to have a heart attack. Charlie starts remembering the essay about the whale, which helps him to calm down. The next day, Ellie shows up again. Charlie tells her to write the essay, and be honest about everything she wants to write. As she begins writing the essay, Charlie tries to have a heart-to-heart conversation with Ellie, but Ellie gets angry, and tells Charlie that she will never forgive him for leaving her when she needed him the most. Charlie apologizes, and tells her that he was afraid no one would want him to be a part of their life. Ellie sympathizes with her father, so she gets up to make a sandwich for her father, and tells him she's giving him a small sandwich without harmful ingredients, which makes Charlie happy, and tells Ellie he is lucky to have an amazing daughter like her. Charlie then falls asleep. Ellie uses it as a chance to get inside her father's mysterious room, but suddenly someone knocks at the door, which turns out to be Thomas. After finding out Ellie added sleeping pills to Charlie's sandwich, he gets concerned about Charlie. Thomas doesn't like Ellie's behavior, so he decides to leave, but Ellie threatens him to stay. She then forces Thomas to smoke, and takes a picture of him. Ellie then asks Thomas to tell her who he really is. Thomas runs into Charlie's mysterious room and locks the door. He then tells Ellie that he and his father were missionaries in a church in his hometown Iowa, but he got tired of handing out the pamphlets. He believed there are so many different ways to help people. So he stole $2,000 and ran away. Thomas also has no idea Ellie is recording everything. Thomas then opens Charlie's Bible and sees his personal photo with his friend. Suddenly, Liz shows up with Charlie's ex-wife, Mary, who is shocked to see Charlie again. Charlie then gains back consciousness. Liz scolds Ellie for giving Charlie sleeping pills. Mary mentions that Charlie has sent all his money into Ellie's bank account, which makes Liz mad, because the whole time she has been helping Charlie for free, thinking he has no money, since he couldn't even afford to visit the hospital. Liz then leaves in anger, leaving Charlie to his daughter and ex-wife. Mary asks Ellie to leave, but Charlie hands her the essay before she leaves. Mary lets Charlie know that the only reason she didn't let Charlie see his daughter is because Ellie is a rude and mean person. She was afraid Ellie might hurt Charlie. To prove it, Mary shows Charlie Ellie's social media, where she uploaded a picture of Charlie and mocks him. Mary then hugs Charlie, and they both start talking about how amazing their life was when they were together. Charlie then tells Mary to take care of their daughter Ellie, since he is going to be dead soon. Mary gets emotional, and leaves. Charlie is now left alone. So he takes a nap. He eventually wakes up due to a thunderstorm, and notices the bird feeder has been broken. The pizza delivery guy shows up again. When Charlie goes outside to grab his pizzas, he is seen by the delivery man, who leaves with disgust on his face. Charlie then eats all his pizzas at once, and leaves an angry message in his online class chat room. To bring an end to his life as fast as possible, he starts sickly eating all the greasy sauces, chips and sandwiches with soda, until he feels sick and throws up. There is a knock at the door, which turns out to be Joyful Thomas. He tells Charlie everything he told Ellie about his life, and tells Charlie that Ellie sent the pictures of him smoking pot and his recordings to his church in Iowa, and his friends and family have forgiven him and want him to come back home. Before Thomas leaves, he tries to read a passage from the Bible to Charlie, but he doesn't want to listen, and blames God for what he has become. He gives Thomas the Bible and tells him to go home to his family. During Charlie's last class, he tells his students he is being replaced due to the rude message he sent before. He turns on his webcam, and shows the students what he looks like, which leaves them in shock. Charlie tells his students to always be honest, before tossing his laptop away. Later, Liz enters Charlie's apartment. She checks Charlie's blood pressure, and notices that his health is getting worse. Which reminds her of her brother Alan, whom her father kicked out of their house due to being friends with Charlie, which caused him to end his life. As Charlie approaches his final moments, Ellie suddenly enters the apartment. Liz then hugs Charlie and says goodbye to him, knowing that it's the last time she is seeing her friend, and leaves. Ellie gets mad at Charlie for giving her the wrong essay, due to which she failed. He tells her to read it. She realizes it's the essay she wrote in 8th grade about a whale, which Charlie always kept close to him, because it was the best essay ever. Charlie then tells Ellie he is lucky to have a daughter like her. As his health worsens, Ellie tells him to visit the hospital. He declines and instructs her to read the essay to him. As she starts reading the essay, Charlie summons all his strength to get up on his feet, despite his heavy weight, and begins walking towards Ellie. As they both look at each other smiling, Charlie starts floating and goes to heaven through a radiant white light. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more, turn on the notifications, and leave a like, which also helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.